United's night. How they have thirsted for this. How long they have thirsted for this. And Old Trafford feels as Old Trafford should feel. The night it all changed. The night they came to life. Erik ten Hag has his teeth into the job. Manchester United have their teeth into the season.
How are we doing, everyone? Sam here, United People's TV. Yes, I'm a couple of minutes late. No, it's not the end of the world. I think you can probably wait a couple of minutes. All right? Don't be impatient. I'm only ever like 1 or 2 minutes late, but it seems like I offend you to your core when I am. But good morning to everyone. It's Friday, the 9th of December. I've got a smile on my face because I'm able to put that down there. Well, actually, no, I'm having a smile on my face because of what I put down there. But I've got a smile on my face because the Glazers are not taking dividends out of Manchester United. And this is a significant step in a massive step in the right direction. In the same way that we were waiting 17 years for that statement to come out, that they were looking for, quote unquote, what strategic investment alternatives. The Glazers now are not taking dividends out of the club. We've got Casemiro up there because Brazil are in action at 3 o'clock. We've got the butcher there because Lisandro Martinez is in action at 7 o'clock. We're going to talk about the World Cup quarterfinals later on. We can preview those two. We can preview the two coming up tomorrow. Bruno Fernandes and Diogo Dalot. And Gonzalo Ramos in action for Portugal against Morocco at 3. And then, of course, England against France. Rashford, Maguire and Shaw. Geez, it is a busy old 48 hours coming up, and today is a big one, right? Both the videos that are going out today are going to be on the Glazers. You would have seen that my video that went out yesterday was on the Glazers, and I'll run through that this morning, and then I'll run through the financial figures that were released, Manchester United's first quarterly results from 2022, and it includes the summer, and it includes, we can see what's happened to the cash reserves, to the borrowings, and the fact that the Glazers are not taking dividends. Who's down here in the comments? Let's have a quick look. Gungshi, good morning to you, as always, my friend. Dean, we've got Anthony. Daisy, good morning to you. Paul, Alex, John. We've got Ant down here. I can see you there. Linton. We've got Josh, as always. Stephen Reacts. Rogerio. Lucia. Carl. Freddie Matfield. And Joshua Dixon. Who's on Facebook? Let's have a look. Anthony Bradshaw, good morning to you. Kieran Trainer, good morning to you. Ronan Duffy. Lee Bryant. And we've got Ashley Pullen. Good morning to everybody. Jeez, it's cold. I'm not sure it's cold where you are, but it is cold AF where I am. But it's so expensive to put the heating on. It's going back to the old school dad thing. Just put another jumper on. Just put another pair of socks on. It's like, no, Dad, it's cold. Put the heating on. But no, I'm going full dad mode and just putting more clothes on. So this video yesterday, right? This is how we're going to start today's show. I did this video based off an article from Dan Sheldon yesterday. Dan Sheldon writes for The Athletic. Really informative article. It was an interview with a lady who works in corporate law out in New York. And she was effectively explaining what the next steps are. The rules and regulations that the Glazers are going to be held to by the New York Stock Exchange and the United States Security Commission in terms of how they can structure a sale. And I explained it all in that video. If you haven't already watched it, go and watch that from yesterday. It's 10 minutes just to sort of keep you bang up to date of what's going on. And then Manchester United's quarterly results were released last night. Now, slightly unfortunately, but it will still be a very good podcast. I spoke with Kieran Maguire, who's a football financial expert, to try and find out a bit more about the debt structure of Manchester United, the liabilities of it, how it's involved in a sale, how you structure it, how it's paid back, X, Y, Z. And we went live and we spoke at 8:45 last night, which was half an hour before they were released. And he actually told me, I was like, damn, that's a little bit annoying. But that interview is going out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And you'll want to watch that because it's a real insightful conversation about the structure of the debt and how, in terms of Manchester United, how important that is when it comes to the sale. How do you figure that debt number in? So yeah, there's a couple of Glazer videos going out. There's a Glazers video going out at lunchtime today, which will detail everything from the financial figures, because I'm going to explain it all in this live show. But as is always the case, not everybody can join in with these live streams. Some people are busy. That's why I do the shorter 10-minute videos. So there's a bit of content for everyone. Just like some people get offended that I'm now doing TikTok content. Not everybody wants to watch an hour-long live stream or even a 10-minute video, and they would prefer to have something in a short 30-second video. It's just, it is what it is. There's different types of content for everybody. A little bit of snow in Bedford. Nah, sod that. Snow's coming though, isn't it? But this is a big moment, right? And remember, ladies and gents, because it is, let me just quickly pause that. Because it is Friday, we've got map day coming up later on. And because it's December, we've still got the calendar giveaway box. Cantona is there, dying to be opened. And we'll get, as soon as we hit 500 likes, we've got 650 of you watching now and only 118 of you like the video. So 500 of you right this second could go boom. And then we hit 500 straight away. You know, you probably won't, but you could. So as soon as we hit 500, we'll open that. And it's a bit of a random one today. I think it's pretty cool. Well, I think so anyway. You might disagree, but we'll find out when we open it. But look, this is a conversation that we have been having for, geez, I mean, sod knows how long. We just never thought that it would stop. But it has. The Glazers are not taking dividends out of Manchester United. That's been a decision by the board, and the board is made up of, well, the majority of the Glazers. The Glazers have the say of what happens, right? So effectively, the board saying that they can't approve the dividends is the Glazers saying that they are not approving the dividends, and they have bled this club dry. They have lived off the legacy value of Manchester United for so long that there is now no legacy value of Manchester United. They can't do it anymore. And that's why they've stopped the dividends. And that, well, it's not just why they've stopped the dividends, but it's proof as to what's going on behind the scenes. And there's still people that fear that the Glazers aren't going to be selling up. I spoke to, as I said, I spoke to Kieran. We spoke about that. And he said, look, of course, it's a possibility. He actually feels more like the FSG deal. That's going to be, his instinct is telling him it might be moving more towards that structure where FSG sell off X percentage, but they still actually retain some sort of control of Liverpool. Now, we do not want that to happen at Manchester United. Now, let me see what you're saying in the comments down here. Alex, you're saying first time in nearly 7 years, they haven't taken a dividend. It's purely about asset protection. Yes, it is about asset protection, but it's also it's just massively indicative of how much they've dragged Manchester United into financial ruin, right? Let me run through the numbers now, and let's have a discussion here in the comments. Look at this, right? So this is Kieran, who we've got an interview with tomorrow. Manchester United had a pre-tax loss of almost £2.5 million per week in the first quarter of 2022-23, despite a 7% decrease in wages. Man United losing £2.5 million a week. Wow. That is unbelievable. That really is. I mean, there are various different stats that you could pull out from this, from these financial results as the most compelling, as the one that makes you really sort of step back. But Manchester United operating on a loss of £2.5 million a week, for me, is just that's staggering. That's really, really staggering. Nick, you're saying down here, look, here we are screaming for Gakpo, Felix. We're so skint the leeches can't even take their dividends. Look, Nick, this is a big part of why I wanted to speak to Kieran Maguire. And the January transfer window is a key part of that, because I asked him inside that interview, I said, look, I mean, Manchester United are skint. I know we're skint, but how much could the Glazers borrow in January? Do they have the ability to borrow more? We spoke about that in quite a bit of detail. So you'll find out about that inside that interview that goes out tomorrow morning. I think it is at 9 a.m. It is an insane loss down there. It's all down to Phil because he doesn't buy merch. Well done to you, Phil. But yeah, it's a substantial and staggering loss, and just another piece of evidence to show that Manchester United, we're not the commercial powerhouse that we once were. Once upon a time, Ed Woodward and the Glazers came in and they installed what was a regional commercial model. And they were one of the first clubs in the world to do it. That means that you've got your big global sponsors like your Nikes and your Chevrolets all on top. But at the same time, you're signing Japan tire sponsors. You're signing Kazakhstani pillow sponsors. You're signing both regional and global sponsors. And that allowed Manchester United to massively increase our commercial output, get a ton of money in, and other clubs started to follow that. But that that's gone. That is absolutely gone. More stats here. Look, this one might be a little bit misleading, having done a little bit of research, but Manchester United generated £71 million worth of cash in the first quarter of 2021-22 from day-to-day activity. And this fell to 3 million in 22-23. I mean, I don't have to tell you how big and significant that drop is, but I think part of that, and so part of why the 71 million was so high, I believe is to do with deferred payments. That would be part of it. But Manchester United are not a cash-rich club anymore. And there's another bit of information that will sort of lead to show you towards that. Man United's cash balance fell from 121 million on the 30th of June to 24 million on the 30th of September. We can see that down there. 121 mil dropped to 24 mil. Now, that is a consequence of what happened in the summer transfer window. Manchester United spent money. Manchester United, look, we spent some of our own money. Man United spent just shy of 100 million of our own money. But we spent over 200 million in the summer. Now, of course, that's going to be player amortization, which means if you pay 100 million for a player, you're likely not going to pay 100 million up front. You're going to pay a fixed amount up front and spread the rest of the cost over the next 4 years. And that's a big thing that me and Kieran spoke about as well, is Manchester United's debt. It's not just in the debt on the loan. It's if you're looking at player amortization, I think we owe, what was it? What did he say? Was it 140 million? I think it was. I might be making that number, completely making that number up. But we owe a lot of money to other clubs for signings that we've made, because we spread, and that's how you work on financial books. It's probably what Barcelona have done. They sign a player for X amount, but they'll pay it over a 7-year period. So it looks better on their financial books this year. Isn't truly representative of what their numbers are. But Man United's cash balance, 24 million. That's extremely, extremely low. We go over here and we see this. Manchester United's borrowings increased to 680 million. Plus 430 million owed to trade suppliers, including outstanding installments and transfer fees, which is what I just discussed there. But look down here. Man United's borrowings went up there and they went up there. As a total, 680 million. This combined with this is how we paid for the summer that we just had, right? We increased our borrowing and we spent as much cash as possible from the club. That's how we had the summer. And look, it's the figures are bad. The figures really are bad. I can't sort of understate that enough. They're so bad that even the Glazers know that they can't take dividends from it. And remember what happened last time. The last dividends payments that were taken came off the back of the Glazers increasing Manchester United's overdraft facility by 40 million. Effectively, they took a bigger overdraft out to pay themselves dividends. And they're not even doing that this time. It's because their eyes are elsewhere now. Their eyes are on a sale. And that's a big, big difference. And look at this number. This number is going to make you feel sick. The total net interest paid by Manchester United since being acquired by the Glazer family in 2005 is £917 million. £1 million per week in interest payments. Now that will definitely make you feel sick. As I said, it depends which figure you want to hold on to as the greatest example of the atrocities of the Glazer ownership. This is probably the standout figure. Over the full course of the Glazer ownership, it's this. It's that 900 million has been spent on interest. Interest. On just actually having the loan, not paying the loan back, on just servicing the loan. That's what I told you. That's what I mentioned it yesterday about having an interest-only mortgage. You might pay, I don't know, 100 grand into the bank over a 10-year period. But if it's interest only, your mortgage will still be the exact same. And Alex, as you're saying down there, and as I spoke about with Kieran on the podcast, 917 million there, you are looking at a brand new stadium. You are looking at probably a brand new Carrington as well. That's the overwhelming majority of a new stadium and the overwhelming majority of a new training facility. Both of those together. And Josh, you're saying it down there as well. And this is the thing that really pisses me off the most. We've paid more in servicing the debt than the original debt itself. And the original debt is actually more than it was when it went on to the club. The numbers are absolutely staggering. Alex, you're asking what the total dividends are. That's around about 150 million that's been paid out to the Glazers, but it won't be paid out this year. And this, for all of us that are, I suppose, worried about the Glazers might just hold on. The Glazers might not leave. They're not, man. The Glazers are leave. The Glazers are actively trying to sell this football club. The fact that they haven't taken the dividends is more evidence of that switch in mindset from them. Just like this summer spending was a switch in mindset from them. We can now say, with hindsight, we can look at how we acted in the summer. The fact that we didn't spend, we were looking at Arnautovic, we were looking at Rabiot, we were looking on the cheap, right? And then we lost to Brighton and Brentford, and the Glazers flipped it. The Glazers flipped it, and all of a sudden we had access to money. We found out where that money's come from now. We found out it's come from the cash reserves of the club and also in increased borrowing. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. And that's because the Glazers realized that they needed to protect, from a purely business perspective, speaking in business language, they had to protect the value of the asset. They had to protect the value of Manchester United, because if they want to sell Manchester United, they need to sell Manchester United when we are ideally in the Champions League, when we are ideally competing for the Champions League. Now, Ten Hag has done a great job at the start of the season, but it's a tough old campaign coming up. Arsenal, well, Gabriel Jesus is out for 3 months now. I imagine they're going to get a couple more injuries, and I imagine that Arsenal rose-tinted glasses that they're all looking through at the moment, they might start getting a bit steamy. I think that will happen. But still, you've got Liverpool that are going to have a better half of the second half of the season for sure. And City are City. Chelsea, Chelsea being meh. And Spurs are, Spurs are a bit meh. But it's going to be very difficult to get inside this top four. And that's why the Glazers had to invest in the summer. And that's why I really spoke in a little bit of depth with Kieran about the January transfer window, because I think that's a big thing for all of us. We know full well that what we've got coming up in the second half of the season, we need a new striker. And that was before Ronaldo left, right? Now that Ronaldo has left, even more so. So we're all looking at it going, to help Ten Hag in the next step of this footballing redevelopment at our club, we need a new attacker in January. But at the same time, we've got owners who aren't focusing on the football pitch at all. They're looking at that exit door. Both eyes in that direction. They don't care really what's going on the pitch. But they care, but they have to, because the value of Manchester United that they're going to sell will be affected by what happens in the second half of this season. Will be affected by future earnings of this Manchester United football club as far as new owners are concerned. And the Glazers selling Manchester United when we're heading into the Champions League is a far more attractive proposition for any new owner than Manchester United, I don't know, just trotting along into the Europa League again. And that's why, I had a conversation about January. I'm going to go down here and read a few of your comments. We've got Raymond watching the whole way from Bermuda. How you doing, buddy? That's cool. Elvis saying, are Barca and Madrid worth more than us? Yes, they are. Madrid are I would say, number one in the world. And Barcelona, I would say, number two. Manchester United are, I think we're still number three, but that's off legacy. That's off previous successes. Madrid, what? They holders at the moment of Champions? I think they are. Madrid have been winning titles in Champions Leagues. Barcelona, well, I wouldn't say their legacy, because they're still doing pretty well. Alex is saying the Glazers' original business plan, required in top four and to get to knockout stage of the Champions League. We've gone some way from the latter for a while, so the debt has gone up. I mean, just for every part of the financial model of Manchester United has just kind of just gone out the window over the last 5, 6, 7 years. Because Ed Woodward, I'm pretty sure that Ed Woodward actually convinced the Glazers that success on the pitch doesn't affect the ability to monetize off the pitch. I'm sure that he convinced them that that was the truth, because he was their lapdog. What Woodward said, the Glazers believed, because ultimately he was very successful in his early years, which is absolutely it's so wrong. And then he tried to reverse from that, and he goes, right, okay, I made such a mistake there. All I can do now is go for a Galactico policy. And then he tried to take control of the transfers, and it just got fucking worse. Honestly, I know how bad the Glazers have been, but I would probably happily argue that Ed Woodward is even more of an architect. He really, really is. And we're still suffering from the legacy of it. Absolute twat. Leela, I wouldn't go that far, of course. I wouldn't. That's not going to happen. But Manchester United right now as a football club, let's get that tinsel out of the way. We're losing £2.5 million a week. That is a staggering reality check, I suppose, for the Glazers. Staggering reality for Manchester United fans. And it just goes to show how financially struck we are as a football club. We are not a super club anymore. Certainly not from a financial sense. And any conversation around Jude Bellingham can just get in the bin unless we get new owners in before the summer. I mean, any conversation about any signing, really. They have to sell before the summer. If they don't sell before the summer, geez, it is. I'm not looking forward to next summer if the Glazers are still owners of Manchester United. I'll tell you that for free. Dean, that's not going to happen in a million years. There's no way we get sold by the end of December. This will drag out for a little bit. Mate, watch that video yesterday. I gave you as much information on that as possible. I think the next announcement we'll hear from the Glazers, or anything to do with the Glazers selling Manchester United, will be to do with the price, because according to rules that they are held to by the United States Security, when Manchester United receive financial advice on what the price of Manchester United should be, they have to file that. So if they get someone in and saying, right, okay, we've done this, and this is what you should be looking for as the price of Manchester United, they have to state that. So I'll be very interested to know what that number is. Because they can't just put 10 million on it and just go, come on in. It's like when you put a value on a house, the bank's going to come and value that house and say, is it worth that as a mortgage? Okay, cool. Yeah, it is. It's effectively what needs to be done in terms of the price of Manchester United. Got 314 likes at the moment, so we only need 200 more. We've got 1,000 of you watching, so there's 700 of you now. You can just go boop, and we can hit 500. Come on, man. Hit that like button. Maybe people got lurgies. Just don't like doing it. Lurgies? I don't know. Rahman, you're saying, hope it's not an American owner. Well, we've all got stung by American owners now, don't we? Kevin, you're saying definitely cash-rich owners with this balance sheet. Kevin, if you take away the amount that we've paid and continue to pay on interest, and you take that debt away, like the revenues of Manchester United, I think we're in excess of 600 million. Now, our revenue to wage percentage was ridiculous. I think with Ronaldo, it was again, I might be making this, I'm not making this up. But I'm sure it was in the region of 60%. So 60% of the revenue was spent on wages. Now that's gone down significantly after Cristiano Ronaldo has left. But I don't know what that is. But if you were to just take the debt away from Manchester United, take the interest repayments away from Manchester United, all the servicing of it, I mean, our cash flow would look immeasurably better straight away, even without having like a cash-rich sugar daddy who comes in and just slaps 100 mil on the table. As a football club, we could and we should be able to sustain ourselves. Maybe not in comparison to the likes of Saudi with Newcastle and Abu Dhabi with City and the money they're going to have on the table. We wouldn't have enough to compete with those, but we certainly wouldn't be losing 2.5 million a week. That's what I think so anyway. Let me see what else you're saying down here. Charlie, this is, again, It's another question I spoke to Kieran Maguire about. And we spoke about it in a bit of detail. So I'll save that for the pod, because if I don't, there's no point in going to watch it, right? Robert, it seems like an interesting comment. I'm going to put it up. Robert, put your business hat on now. What would you do if you were to buy the club? As in, how much would your net worth be before you consider buying a club? How much would you be prepared to pay? And where do you see the revenue growth to come back from your investments? Robert, I look at Manchester United genuinely, and I think it's such a simple business to get profit from. But the investment's long term. And I'm talking like 10, 20. This isn't a play. This isn't something that you can come in now. You say, right, I've got 6 billion. In 3 years' time, I want to take out 9 billion. I don't think that's possible. But I think from Manchester United's perspective, in terms of new owners, right, I'm looking at it. I put my valuation on it. I tried to do my numbers and put it all together, but I'm not an expert. And I got to around about $5.8 billion. So I imagine there's some sort of fee between 5 and 6 billion, given the interest that there is in Manchester United, given the value that it still holds. But in terms of the way you're making money, man, like you're building a new stadium. You're building a new training ground. Those two they're going to be huge outlays and huge investments, but the returns are immediate. The returns are obvious. They're going to raise the value of the club significantly. And that's obvious. But as I said, it's going to be a long-term investment for that to happen. So whoever comes in next, they have to be prepared to own Manchester United for a significant amount of time before they get their returns. They can't be expecting to come in and do an FSG. An FSG who came into Liverpool, what was it? When did they buy Liverpool? Was it like 10 years ago, something like that? And now they're getting their out. It's going to be a long old time, man, because we need such a huge amount of investment from an infrastructure perspective. Sorry. Like Newcastle's owners, St. James's Park is sound. All they need to do really is focus on the football. As Jonathan, you got it down there. Look, in total, you're looking the best part of that. The best part of 2 billion to clear the debt of the club, to build a new stadium and to build Carrington. That would buy most football clubs. And that's only just basically like sweeping the front drive and like clean all the windows. That's just, I know it's not basic, but it is effectively the basic infrastructure. A good stadium, a good training ground, and no debt. But that's what we need. And that's why, look, that's why the likes of Dubai are being linked with Manchester United. It's why Apple's been linked, and there will be US consortiums coming as well. They can't value. Look, I mean, they can, Daz. The fact that Manchester United, if you were to set a football club now, you wouldn't set a football club off the back of a first quarterly results from 2022, would you? You would base it across the course of 5 to 10 years. You would base it on future projected cash flows. I mean, let's not get into the boring parts of it, but they're not setting the club based off these quarterly results. But these quarterly results show us as fans and show everybody as fans, like, shit me. United really are in a bad place right now financially, and they do need investment. Analogy Sam. I've had far worse nicknames than Analogy Sam. That's why I think so anyway. Well, I don't think so. I absolutely know so. See what you're saying down there. I disagree with Kieran. Can't see the Glazer sticking around anymore. I can't see the Glazer sticking around. I really, really, really can't. I know that there are still people that are worried and scared that the Glazers will do their utmost to sell off the club without losing control and power. I think they've already done that. And I think that's why we've reached this position now where they've had to go public. The Glazers behind the scenes, I think we saw it. Who was it? There was a suggestion that the Glazers were looking for, after Chelsea, I think, were bought by Todd Bowley, that the Glazers were looking for somebody to come into Manchester United to buy like 60% of it, but then have absolutely no say in what goes on. And we all laughed about it. We all laughed about it because it was a wild suggestion. But I think they probably genuinely look for it. Like, is there a billionaire in the world that wants to give us £4 billion, but then they can't tell us how to spend that £4 billion, and then in 3 years we'll give you back 7? It really feels like they tried that. And now that's my voice just went a bit higher. And now that's why they've gone public. That's why they've said, quote unquote, strategic investment opportunities. It's such a corporate bloody way of saying we're for sale. And now you're seeing it with the figures. The figures back up everything that has happened so far and that will happen. In my opinion, the Glazers are selling Manchester United. That is an opinion. And I appreciate that there are other people that still have that fear that they will just hold on to it. But look, they're not taking the dividends. And if that doesn't just show you how bad the finances are at Manchester United, then nothing will. Doesn't matter how bad we performed, all the cash flow losses we've had before, the COVID, even during COVID, they took fucking dividends. When there was nobody in a stadium for like 14 months, they still took dividends. And now they're not. What's changed? They want to sell. They didn't want to sell previously. That's what I think. And you're saying there becomes a salination point when there is little left to leverage and little to no. Mate, that's it. We've spoken about it before, but they really truly have. They've bled that well dry. That bucket's empty, man. They kept filling that bucket up with little like bottles of Volvic from the bank. Just yeah, go on in. Yeah, shove a little 20, 30 million in that. Just looking over the shoulder, just in case somebody was looking. And that's what they were doing before. They can't do it anymore. We have reached endgame. They have absolutely reached the end game, and they cannot do anything now without significant investment, and they cannot even get dividends out of the club. Conversations down here in the comments. What were you saying? There was a comment there. Ricky saying, our Tampa Bay, I think it'll be good for me to try and do a bit of 1 second there. You're getting blocked. Thank you very much. It'll be good for me to try and do that, actually, to try and speak to somebody. I've actually reached out to a couple of journalists from Philadelphia to try and speak about the Philadelphia 76ers, the Harris Blitzer ownership, how that's gone there. And I'll actually try and do that today, a little bit later on today when I've got some time. I'll try and reach out to somebody who could do the same thing from Tampa Bay's perspective. Now, one thing I do know about Tampa Bay, not sure if you do, is when the Glazers, so the Tampa Bay's got a new stadium now, but as far as I know, when the Glazers were trying to fund that stadium, they threatened to take Tampa Bay out of Florida as a franchise, because that's the franchise model in America. You can just move clubs around. They threatened to take Tampa Bay away from Florida if the council didn't fork out a lot of money for the stadium. So effectively, I believe the Glazers kind of got the stadium paid for without having to invest anything or hardly anything at all. Now, I need to find out the actual truth and the facts about that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Richard there saying, new member here. Just want to say how much I love the community, mate. Richard, thank you very much for joining in, man. I love this community. I love this community too. It really is good. Let's see what else you're saying down here. Stephen, you're saying that they are finished. In my opinion, they're finished. As soon as that statement came out, I knew the Glazers wouldn't do that. Bear in mind, the Glazers have sat there silently, lurking in the shadows for nearly 2 decades. And they come out and say that they're looking for, quote, strategic investment opportunities. They are fucking skint. They have nowhere else to go. They cannot lurk in the shadows anymore. They have lurked and they have tried to have all these clandestine conversations behind the scenes to try and get investment somehow. And they cannot do it. They have to sell the club. So as bad as this is for Manchester United fans, we're all sitting here looking at how little cash we've got, how we're losing money, how much has been spent on borrowing, how much has been spent on interest repayments. It's bad, right? It's bad. And they keep saying it's going to get worse before it gets better. From a financial perspective, this is, I would probably say this is the worst I've seen financially, worst I've seen United from a financial perspective in the Glazers ownership. That one there, $1 million a week on interest payments. That is absolute madness. Ray, you're saying masters of dirty tactics. Worry about for something to sort of make you feel slightly better there when it comes to them selling the club is the Republic. Because we are a public company, the Glazers are held to rules. This isn't a private sale like Chelsea where they can just do what they want, go have a little handshake and a big cash envelope under the table. I'm sure you could still technically do that behind the scenes, but they are held to certain rules and regulations by being listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So weirdly, as much as that's hurt us throughout this whole time, the fact that we have been public, I think at the point of sale, it should help us at least know that they can't do too much underhand. I think so anyway. I might be making that up, but I don't think I am. What else are we saying in the comments down here? How many likes are we on? 421. Yeah, come on. Get that Friday vibe, man. How many we've got? We've got over 1,000 of you watching now. So there's 600 of you right this second that can go boosh. I'll keep making random noises, by the way. I went for boosh this time. Don't know why. 600 of you. Hit that like button now. We'll get Cantona open. Bully saying, Sam, when you say we need a new stadium, is that from the bottom up or just a clean up? I'm going to do a little poll on this now. Why not? Because I'm feeling nice today. New stadium. Renovate Old Trafford. Build a new one. There's a poll up on YouTube now. I apologize, everybody on Facebook who's watching. It's not my fault. It's just that I can't do a poll on 2 places at once. So I'm going to put that poll up there. Do you think we should be renovating Old Trafford? Do you think we should be building a new stadium? I'll be honest. I think we should be building a new stadium. I love Old Trafford. I've had great memories there. I don't like going to Old Trafford anymore. I really don't care about going to Old Trafford anymore. It is a crap match day experience. Getting in the stadium, being in the stadium, the concourses, the seats. I mean, the atmosphere is class when it's a big game. I went to a Liverpool game early this season because I am a big game wanker. I went to the Liverpool game early this season and it was class. Absolutely great in the TRA. First time I've been in the TRA. But Old Trafford as an experience is stuck in the 90s, man. And it's been neglected. And I know there are going to be people that point towards what I've spoken about this before. There's people that point towards what Real Madrid are doing with the Bernabeu. They're still playing in it. Why can't we do what they're doing? Real Madrid have consistently invested in the Bernabeu. They've consistently put money in. Man United haven't done anything. So we're looking at 17 years worth of neglect. And now they're going to start doing it. For me, it feels like an unrealistic project for the scale of improvement that's required. It's never a crappy experience going there for any game. All right, Ben, you can have that opinion if you want, but from a stadium perspective, it is not a good stadium anymore from a fan experience point of view. That's an opinion. You can have that there. Let me see what you're saying in the comments down here. Wow, that's really split. I genuinely expected maybe just people to agree with me because I'm telling you about it right now. Just put your opinion in the votes. I'm really interested to know. But it's like 47% of you are saying renovate, and 53% are saying build a new one. That's closer than I thought it would be. I thought more of you would want to renovate Old Trafford. Gungshi and Dominic down there. I'm going to call you Dominic Toretto from now on. Big up Fast and Furious. And it's Godfather Gungshi. You've given 5. Who are the lucky 5? Thomas, Philip, Lloyd Christmas, ARM, Ian Nugros. You are the lucky 5 from Godfather Gungshi and from Dominic. Barry and family. Barry's got family? Of course Barry's got family. Adicola, Jay and Goni, and Charles. You are the lucky 5 down there. Let me see what you're saying about the stadium down here. Like how bad is it? I don't know what you mean down there. Madrid, did they? I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, of course they did, actually, because I think they had like some Champions League games. New era, new state. We should never. I mean, look, Spurs pulled out a 700 million mortgage for that, or however much it was. I don't know what the right thing is to do. There's not really a stadium where Manchester United could, like, in theory, right? We're renovating Old Trafford. What stadium are we sharing? Because there will come a point where it's not safe to be playing on that pitch because there'll be renovations. And if you really want that renovation to be like Spurs, you're talking about a pitch that's going to retract and then switch and become different. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good luck doing that whilst playing in the stadium. It's mad. I think there's been such a lack of investment into Old Trafford that the idea of renovating it just doesn't really sound sustainable. And if it is, it's going to take bloody years worth. I mean, it will take years anyway. I've no idea what the right answer is. But I'll tell you what, City will not let us go to the Etihad. We're not going to be going Ellen Road. We're not going to go to Anfield. I don't think there's a stadium that we can share. I don't think so anyway. Wembley. Oh, my God. I mean, Spurs had a bad enough time at Wembley, let alone how bad we would have it. It's a massive debate. And no doubt this debate we'll save for further down the line. Let's get the new owners in first before we can really, truly talk about what the right and the wrong thing is to do with Old Trafford. Because, yeah, that's the biggest of projects. And imagine, like, in 10 years' time, we all come back here. I've got a few more grey hairs. And we talk about how wicked our new stadium is. Wouldn't that be wonderful? It would be. I just don't know. And you're saying around about 650 million you're hearing for renovating Old Trafford. Good luck to that. It's going to be more than that. A new stadium, all renovating Old Trafford is going to be it's going to be in excess of 750. Like if you're looking at, because we have to look at the Bernabeu and what they're doing there is the pinnacle of where stadiums should be aiming towards, and what they are doing, man. It looks beautiful. But look, let's move on to the next few talking points, because there's so much more to talk about today. I apologize if it's been Glazer-centric at the moment, but it's almost like it's the most important thing at our club. Look at that vote. 51% say renovate Old Trafford. 52% say renovate. 48% are saying build a new one. That is right down the middle. Who knows? But we are at, what are we at? 480 likes. It looks like we're going to be hitting the 500 very soon. Look at that. Boom. So make sure you drop a like in the video. We'll get the box open and we'll speak about this, because Nasser Al-Khelaifi has been sniffing around Rashford. Remember when we saw these reports in the summer, and I think there was some people saying, oh yeah, that's going to be Rashford's brother making up some rumors whilst everything's going on. Apparently not. This is what he said about signing Marcus Rashford. He goes, maybe in the summer, why not? But today, if he is a free agent, we can talk to him directly. But we're not going to talk to him now. We're going to let him focus on the World Cup. And hopefully in January, hopefully in January, we'll talk to him. So PSG, I mean, of course they would. Anybody after this World Cup looking at Marcus Rashford going, well, he's a free agent. Yeah, we'll have a conversation with him. But remember, well, I think I'm correct anyway. Manchester United have a one-year contract, one-year extension that they can activate in Rashford's contract. So he's not going to be a free agent in the summer. That's just not going to happen. Man United will give that one-year extension that they can activate themselves. And then on top of that, I imagine the conversations will begin around a new long-term deal for Rashford. We have to make sure these long-term deals for players are correct now. It's something that stung the club for a long time. That was again an Ed Woodward legacy of giving inflated contracts, long-term contracts out to players to try and protect their values as assets. And it left us with so many players who had way too much wages, who we wanted to get rid of, that we couldn't get rid of. Now, Marcus Rashford, where is it? There it is. I think that's a photo we're going to see on Saturday evening, hopefully. Him just patting him on the head, saying, it's all right, mate. Better luck next time. But PSG are stung. They've been stung by Rashford twice, haven't they? That penalty and then the year after as well. Ooh, he loves playing at PSG. I'm not surprised to see them sniffing around Rashford. And while I do personally think that Marcus Rashford should be given a new contract, we've got to make sure the numbers make sense. We can't be handing out a 350 grand a week contract to Marcus Rashford, right? There are a very, very finite amount of players that should be on that sort of money. We've got to make sure that the contract suits the club, and we've got to make sure, in my opinion, that we keep Rashford. That's what I think. So anyway, you can disagree with me in the comments. Alex, yes. There he is. It's Friday, man. I've still got the map coming up. We've got the giveaway coming up as well. Look, we've hit 500 likes. Let's get the box opened. Alex, who are the lucky 5 that have been given them by Alex? Hey, thank you very much, as always. Honestly, the continued support from all of you. From Warren to Sigmund to Alex to Dominic to Gungshi, all of you, absolute legends. I can't wait to do a meetup, and we'll do something live. Michael, Joshua, Gary Burton, Chubby, and Shegs. You are the lucky 5 there today. We're hitting 5. We've hit 500 now, so let's get this bad boy open. I think this one's random, but I think you'll like it. Speedy saying a move to PSG would ruin Rashford's career. I'm not sure it would. What do you reckon? Cantona? Yeah, loves it. Right. Tell you what, before we do this, I'm going to announce the winner from yesterday. And you may not have seen this. The winner, that is. Let's bring this up because the winner is Daisy. Chosen at random. I'll just close my eyes and then go up and down the comments. But Daisy, I think that's you over there anyway. Congratulations. You commented on... Sorry. You commented on the video yesterday. Actually, no, is that the wrong one? That is the wrong one. Anyway, I just had it up on screen there. Stupid TikTok. Anyway, Daisy, you're over there. So congratulations to you. You need to slide into my DMs on Instagram or Twitter, and I can give you out that prize. But only 17 of you commented on that video. That's what I mean. If you follow us on TikTok, you had a 1 in 17 chance there of winning that United shirt yesterday. And the giveaway for today, as I said, this is random, but it kind of ties in with the fact that the Netherlands are playing today. I bought this during the summer when I got hypey over Erik ten Hag. I think it's cool. This is the Bob Marley Ajax shirt. Look at that in the back. You got the 3 little birds there. I think it got sold out in quite a lot of places, actually. So I'm not sure if you can still get it. But this is a sexy shirt. And how am I going to do this one today? Right. So for this one today, you just need to leave a comment on the main YouTube video that's going out, all right? The main YouTube video will be going out at, well, just after lunchtime. But this is a little ode and good luck to the Netherlands today-ish, because they're playing Martinez. It got banned in places. I didn't know that it got banned in places. But yeah, I bought that because I got a bit hypey when we got Erik ten Hag in. I think I did a couple of streams. But yeah, that's the giveaway for today. So all you got to do is comment on the main video that's going to go out at lunchtime today on YouTube. Drop a like on it and leave a comment. Interact with it. And that's basically all I'm asking anybody to do throughout this whole giveaway month in December. Just engage with the content. I spend a lot of time researching, a lot of time trying to make it as best as possible. And you as a community, you do engage with it. But that's all I'm asking for. So let's go. It won't be on TikTok this time, but some of you will be so happy to know. It's really hard, TikTok. I have no idea what I'm doing. But speaking about Holland, right? Holland? Netherlands. Anthony, you work for Ziggo, see too much Ajax stuff. Sorry, mate. Not my fault. Did you see the Van Gaal press conference yesterday? It absolutely creased me up. This is what he said. So Di Maria's called me the worst manager he's ever had. He's one of the few players with this opinion. I'm really sorry about this. And I find it sad he said this. Memphis had to deal with it too at Manchester. And now we kiss each other on the mouth. And look at Memphis's reaction to that. He's like, nah, he didn't just say that. Did he just say that? Yeah, he just said that. Mate, Louis van Gaal, I'm kind of tempted to do a little Louis van Gaal tribute video, or just with some of his funniest moments, just in like a little video for TikTok or YouTube Shorts, because he's come out with some absolute crackers, from like pointing at Neil Custis and calling him fat man, to talking about Fellaini getting his hair pulled and saying that's only allowed in sex masochism, to there saying he's kissing Memphis on the mouth, yeah, to Louis van Gaal's army, to him falling over on the side of the pitch. His football was abysmal, right? Oh, man. It was abysmal. It was so pragmatic, it was painful. But he's hilarious. He genuinely is hilarious. I've got to say that, man. He's a funny dude. Bringing the glass of the wine to the presser. The dive in front of the fourth official. Mate, he's done some good stuff. Anybody who's got anything funny you remember from Louis van Gaal, let me know in the members chat or the general chat on Telegram. I'll try and compile it all together and we can get a little Louis van Gaal tribute video, because I think that'll be very good. That'll make you laugh as well. But look, man, today we're getting busy again. Football's back. World Cup's back. Brazil are in action against Croatia at 3 o'clock today. And we've got Casemiro, we've got Anthony, and we've got Fred. Queen's Park Raisins. I forgot about Queen's Park. My God, man. Mike Smalling. That's what I mean. Louis van Gaal. He's literally, his soundbite collection, five or 10 like comedy gold moments. He's the funniest manager. He really, really is. But yeah, Casemiro. We get to watch Casemiro. Casemiro's absolutely been dominating at the World Cup so far. Now, of course, Brazil are favourites to beat Croatia, but Croatia, yeah, they got to the semi-finals last time. Let's not just dismiss them completely. But the way that Brazil played, they're looking very, very good. It is map day today. Carl, you're down there in the comments. You reminded me of that. But of course, we're not just looking at him. We're looking at this bad boy. Let me zoom in on you. There he is. He's on the wall there. There's the butcher. There's the butcher. My favorite design. My favorite. Is he my favorite United player? Would I say that right now? Man, Van Gaal, man. Van Gaal, really. And something I just want to say about Van Gaal as well. For him to go through treatment for prostate cancer, keep it all to himself, and manage that Dutch team at the age that he's at, it's mind-boggling management. To be able to have the energy to drive others whilst you're going through that, and you're keeping that to yourself, dude. Van Gaal's a dude, man. He really is. I would love to get the opportunity to speak to Van Gaal, and because the way that he was sacked by Ed Woodward, not anybody else, by Ed Woodward, was fucking disgusting. It really was. Like, behind the scenes, absolutely behind. It was horrible. Ian saying, we know your favorite player is Martinez. Wow, I'll be honest, it probably is. I've been starved of a player at United for it, like him, for so long. These two, there he is, up there, Casemiro and Martinez down there. We get to watch both of them in action today, and I hope both of them get through. No offense to Cody Gakpo, no offense to Louis van Gaal, great manager and all that, but I imagine Martinez coming back as a World Cup winner. The video, I swear to God, if Lisandro Martinez comes back as a World Cup winner, the video I'm going to do for Jamie Carragher is going to probably be the best video I'm ever going to do. I'm going to go all in. I thought I went all in on the last one, but if he wins the World Cup and comes back a World Cup winner, it's going to be 10 times worse for Carragher. It really is. Yeah, it's a good point there, mate. Look, if Van Gaal's football matches personality, hey, look, it did in the 90s, man. He won the Champions League with Ajax. He had a lot of success. It didn't really match up with what was going on there. Geez, I'm going to give everything away. I'm not going to give everything away. Let me just clarify that before we all get carried away. But I probably will do some good stuff. If Martinez wins the World Cup, I'm definitely going to do some sort of Martinez World Cup merch design. Yes, please. Mate, the man crush is deep. It really, really is deep. So I'll tell you what we should do, actually. Seeing as we're here, have I got it there? Yeah, let's embarrass Carragher for 30 seconds about Martinez. Go.
The other problem he's got straight away is the signing of Lisandro Martinez at the back. Now, we should never judge managers, players too early. But I'm convinced this can't work. Because he's the size of a 5'9", playing in a back four. Maybe he could go left back. Maybe he could play in a back three. But in the back four, he cannot play there in the Premier League.
He cannot play there in the Premier League. He cannot play there in the Premier League.
It's an act of lunacy, General Sir. Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot.
That's such a catchy tune, man. I need to find out where I got that song from because I can't remember. Look, amid all of this, all the excitement that we've got there, we've got Croatia and Brazil coming up at 3 p.m. We've got Argentina against the Netherlands coming up at 7 p.m. We've got Morocco, Portugal tomorrow with Bruno Fernandes and Diogo Dalot, Gonzalo Ramos. And then we've got the big one at 7. We've got Rashford, we've got Maguire, we've got Shaw coming up against France and Varane. And then amidst all of that, we've got a game against Real Betis. Now, I apologize about this, but it's not my fault. I'm going to a wedding tomorrow, so there won't be a match reaction for the Real Betis. What I'm going to try and do is do something on Sunday morning, like a 5 things we learned. I'll be able to watch the game. I won't be able to do a match reaction. All right. I apologize about that, but it's kind of everything's going a bit crazy because the quarterfinal kicks off at 7. This game starts at 5. So it's a bit of a football mad weekend. Jibat, you sent a super chat here. Would you rather our players get a week off and recover or win the World Cup and come back fatigued? Win the World Cup, dude, man. Like they've gone this far. Win that damn thing. Win that World Cup. Absolutely. That for me, that's a rhetorical question. I know the logic of, the logic of needing to rest players, but no, sod that. They've gone this far. And as long as if Croatia get knocked out today by Brazil and Morocco get knocked out tomorrow by Portugal, Manchester United have a World Cup, at least one World Cup winner coming back to the club. Jonathan, you say that. Yeah, big up to whose wedding it is. Alex, who's from the podcast. I guarantee you that United Calypso gets played at the wedding. If it doesn't, I'll be fuming. I'll be going to the DJ. I'll be like, oh, man, play this number. But yeah, the youngsters are playing tomorrow. Kobe Mainu there. We've got Shoda Shoratira, who is actually quite impressive there. I mean, penny for the thoughts of what's going to be going through Ten Hag's conversations with Van der Beek now. It's like, mate, what's that there? Okay. That's a bit weird. So I've got a notification on my phone. It's a bit weird. I have no idea what he's going to be saying to Van der Beek. It was another game that just like dude, like what do you do in the United shirt? What are you doing? I don't really care what anybody says about Van der Beek anymore. He's like, man, he has had opportunities galore. More minutes than anyone in preseason. 4 starts in a row. It's been bad. It's been bad. But yeah. Oh no, actually, we can't wrap it up today because I've got that song in my head now. It's map day, babe. It's map day, map day, people. Getting a bit excited now. 3 of you on the map. You let me know where you're watching from, the town you're watching from, and the country. Not just the country, because, well, as you can see from the map, the countries are everywhere. So we need to make sure that we get 3 of you on the map with the towns and the countries. But World Cup football quarterfinals, baby, are back today. Imagine that. I love international tournament when international football when it reaches this stage, when it gets to knockouts. It's just there is nothing like it. I love club football and United. I love watching United more, but I really enjoy watching these big games in international football. Let me see where you're watching from down here. Kieran watching from Mount Melik in Ley. I don't know how to pronounce that. Have a look. Mount Melik. There he goes. Port Louis. Oh, geez, I'm annihilating that one. I have no idea how to say that. And I've got a load of Irish family. What's my excuse? Let's see if we can get anybody. There you go. We've got Joshua watching from Leeuwarden in Friesland in Netherlands. That's one of the teams that's left in the World Cup. So on you go, sir. There he is. On to the map. Well done. Who else we got down here? I'll see if I can spot anybody from countries that are in the World Cup. I've really got that song in my head now. That's ridiculous. Pronounced like lease. There you go. Didn't know that. We've got Dave from New South Wales, Laguna in New South Wales. On you go, Dave. Well, thank you for watching from Facebook, buddy. Laguna in where is it? New South Wales. I'm pretty sure we've already got New South Wales on, but you're on now. Obviously, Australia aren't still in the World Cup. Let's get one more on. Let's see who else we got down here. Got Ken watching from Sam Rayburn in Texas. No, you're not in a high school. Maybe you are. I don't know. Well, you can have that postcode there. On the map. Look at that. 3 of you. And Michael watching from Kaga City. Look at that. You can call the map. That's cool. I'd love to visit Japan. I really would. Kaga City. Oh, no, it's not coming up. Oh, never mind. Not coming up, sir. I apologize about that. But look, let's wrap this one up for today. How many are watching? We've still got 1,000 of you watching. Nearly 600 of you like the video. Thank you very much, everybody, for engaging in the content. It makes such a big difference. It really, really does. I love the community. I love everything that we do all week. What have we given away this week? Let me pull this up. I've given away 3 Ronaldo shirts. I've given away a 5 Cantona sweater, a Fight the Glazers hoodie, a United retro kit, and today, there it is. We're giving this away. All you got to do, if you want to be in with a chance of winning that, is comment on today's video that's going out at lunchtime. It's going to be about the Glazers. It's going to be about the finances and how they've put this club into the mud and they need to sell. But thank you, everyone. I'll be back here on Monday with the live streams. There'll be my interview with Kieran Maguire going out tomorrow morning. Might have a video out on Sunday. If anything big happens, I'll be here anyway. But have a cracking weekend. Daisy, make sure you slide into my DMs and give me your address so I can send you the shirt you've won. And yeah, have a good weekend, everyone. And I'll see you Monday.